Hey y'all, it's Stephie and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another Ask Stephie. So I'm going to be going to my last Ask Stephie, which I will link here in the cards, and go over the questions that y'all left me there. So without further ado, let's go. So our first question comes from Debbie Dukes. Will be transferring to a university next semester. She's been taking elective classes and seriously don't know anything about accounting yet, but I know for a fact I want to do it. Any advice? Is this normal? What are good starting off jobs? She's in community college, hasn't taken too many classes in the field yet. She's scared she won't know anything at all or is underqualified. I completely understand how you feel. So I started my college education at a community college as well. So I did take two very basic accounting classes. Was it two or one? I forgot. Anyways, it was very basic fundamental accounting classes. So it's very normal to feel like you don't know anything or don't know a lot. As of right now, yes, you are probably underqualified in the accounting profession because you are just starting off. That is very, very normal, and I definitely felt the same way. And you will build on that knowledge, really focus on the current class that you're in right now. Then when you get to university, take another accounting class, really focus on learning those concepts and building a really solid foundation with those concepts. And it only gets harder and harder and harder, or more complex, should I say, but they're building blocks. And if you view it that way, it can be a little less overwhelming. I definitely felt the same way as well. So don't psych yourself out, don't think too much into it, just do as best as you can. By the end of your accounting degree, you will feel a lot more knowledgeable, and then as you get on the job experience, you'll feel even more qualified as you go on. But it's a journey. Starting off jobs, like some kind of bookkeeping job, you could look at accounts payable or accounts receivable, you know, getting internships. So Lasia Graves asked, what is the name of an accountant that mainly works with calculating numbers? I know almost all accountants work with numbers, but is there a specific type that mainly does calculations and math? I really can't think of a specific accountant position that does just that. It just would really depend on the specific role and what the company needed. Tax, that's probably doing calculations over and over and over again. I mean, all accountants perform calculations and such. There's not really a specific one. I do have a video on different roles for accountants, which is up here in the cards. So if you want to watch that video, it can give you more insight on what each accountant position does. Hopefully that will be helpful for you. Shannon Extra asked, I have a kind of specific question. Have you ever dealt or seen colleagues dealing with an office romance, and do you have any tips, sisterly advice for us who might experience something like that? Have I dealt with an office romance? No, except in my home office with my husband. Anywho, but I have had colleagues who were romantically involved with people in our office. I don't know about every office and every firm. It gets really dicey and very just not right if you and your partner are working on the same engagement and are directly supervising one another, whichever, vice versa. I would say if it's truly serious, then probably getting reassigned to another engagement, you or the other person, would be most ideal. Fall in love with who you fall in love with, which is great, you know, Pam and Jim, so I understand. But you definitely don't want to cross that professional line when it comes to providing feedback, when it comes to like your compensation and promotion and moving up in your career. If you're working on the same client audit engagement together, make sure that you're not reporting to one another. Try to separate that, because you definitely don't want to like cause an uncomfortable work environment for others. You don't want it to seem like you're getting special attention or special opportunities because you're, you know, involved with your partner. It could look like it's a conflict of interest or something of that nature. Those are my thoughts on that, and I'm very happy that you were able to find love and happiness. Just keep things professional at the workplace and you should be fine. Lindsay Nguyen asked, I love your take on the accounting profession. What is your ultimate career goal, if you don't mind me asking? 3 years ago, my ultimate career goal would have been to make partner at my firm. I think right now, because I'm in the internal audit field and profession, my next goal is to be senior manager. After that, I'd like to be a director. Maybe after that, a VP. That's what I would like to do with my career, is just to run my own like internal audit risk department. I'd either like to go that route, or eventually I would like to maybe have my own consulting business where I could help companies implement, you know, appropriate controls and put good processes, procedures in place. Something I've thought about, nothing very seriously, but I always have thoughts of like, what's my next career goal? What do I want to do with my career? What do I want to do with my life? The next 5 to 10 years, I think my more immediate goals are to make senior manager, continue to like, you know, hone my current abilities and skills, possibly get my CIA license, which I really want to get. Even though I have my CPA, I really want my CIA license as well because it's specific to my field. So that's another goal that I have. And then also obviously start a family. So I think those are like the more immediate goals for me. My dream would be to have my career outside of the YouTube space and stuff like that. But then also I've thought about ways to like be able to mentor and be more available for y'all. It gives me a lot of joy and fulfillment in my life. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that in addition to what I'm doing right now. I haven't been able to figure that out, but I think eventually I would love that. I would love to do more mentoring one-on-one, or whether it's talking to a group of people or just being like a resource for y'all who maybe don't have a resource in your current life. So those are kind of the goals that I have. Figuring out how to execute those, that's kind of something I'm working on. So yeah. Gianna Henderson asked that she'd love some feedback on an issue she had. Oh, this is kind of late, but I'll give my 2 cents. I'm sorry. She's dealing with a pushy recruiter, and now it seems like because she isn't doing what the recruiter wants, she's been blacklisted, and they're not wanting to communicate with her. I haven't been in that situation specifically, but I definitely have dealt with like pushy recruiters, and I have a whole video which I will link over here in the cards for you guys about how to like deal with recruiters. Ultimately, they're salespeople. I mean, that's kind of the core of their job, right? They're trying to find someone to fill a position. Hopefully you work with a recruiter whose purpose is a little bit more like they want to find the best fit for the company and for you as well, and to create like a long-term relationship with both sides. Those are the type of recruiters I personally like to work with, but there are recruiters out there, like there's always good and bads in a specific field of work. There's definitely been recruiters in the past who view you as a number and they just want to go out and fill jobs, and that's what their performance metrics are based off of. Keep in mind that everything happens for a reason. If you felt like they were trying to push you into something that ultimately wouldn't be a good fit for either of you guys, just take it as that. Just work with a different recruiter. I've always used more than one recruiter whenever I look for a job. Not for the same job, but like I have them kind of going off into finding me things. It's tough though, and I think this is a good opportunity to learn self-review of the situation. Is there something that you could have done better? Could you have communicated better? Look for the areas that you definitely had ownership for and areas that they had ownership for, and if ultimately you did feel like they were completely selling you short compared to the market. I don't know the whole situation, but I think that we all learn from, you know, the highs and lows of our lives. Minette Ann Hamtig asked, did you apply for CPA examination in Texas? Yes, I did. And how long was the entire application process before you were able to get a notice to schedule your exam? You know, it's been, how many years has it been? It's been like 8 years. It's been a while. I don't think it took very long. I think it took maybe a month or two, but I'm guessing because I honestly don't remember. I don't remember it being especially long or me having to wait around for it for a very long time. I think if you get the necessary paperwork together, it goes pretty quickly. Lindor asked, I have a super unique question. I'm about a year out of college and have my CPA. I may have an opportunity to pursue an entirely different career that is my passion of working in professional sports, though it is nowhere near as stable as accounting. How difficult would you expect it to be to get back into accounting if needed years down the line? How difficult would it be to get a fresh start at a mid-sized regional firm? How common are staff accountants at this age? Congratulations, that's amazing to have an opportunity to work in professional sports. For the second question, is it common to see staff accountants in the 30 and 40 range? Yes, it is common. I did a whole video on it here in the cards about basically, are you too old to start over in accounting? And I think that will answer your question, but in a nutshell, yes, it's very common. I personally have seen in public accounting, people thrive in a mid-tier firm at that particular age. I don't think you'd have a problem getting into a mid-tier firm after, you pursue your passion. And if anything, it would be a great conversation piece during your interview. And I think as long as you're okay with going back into the industry at a little bit of an older age and having possibly younger people supervising you, and you know, you being willing to earn your stripes and everything, despite whatever age you're at, I think that you'll be fine getting another job. If you have the ability to pursue your passion, that's not going to be a detriment to your family and to yourself, then go for it. And if anything, at least you have accounting to fall back on. We only get certain opportunities in our current life, so I say go for it when you can. All the best to you, and let me know how it all goes. Alex V asked, do I still need to look for an internship during my junior year if I plan to go for a master's? Also, when should I pursue my master's? Before, during, or after I get an accounting job? When do I take the CPA exam then? I'm about to begin my junior year and having a hard time putting my priorities in chronological order. Great question. Typically, if you're getting a bachelor's degree, you will not have enough credits to sit for the CPA exam. You either have to do extra classes like what I did. However, it can be more efficient to do your bachelor's, do your master's degree, and then at that point in time, you will be CPA eligible, and then you can be taking your CPA exam. So you can either do it two ways. You can do bachelor's degree, extra classes, graduate, and you know, are CPA eligible, taking your CPA exam. If not, then you do bachelor's degree, master's, and then your CPA. That's kind of the chronological order of that. If you graduate with your bachelor's degree and then go into your master's, you may become CPA eligible before you finish your master's degree. I would personally suggest not starting the CPA exam until you finish your master's degree. That's going to be a lot of things to juggle. You need to dedicate like your time and effort specifically to that. I think it's like a 5-year program, where PPA program, and then you get your bachelor's and master's at the very end. So in that case, you would have to wait until you graduate and then take your CPA. And then in terms of looking for an internship, yes, I still think that it's very good to look for an internship during your junior year, even if you're going to be doing a master's degree. Accounting firms are always looking a year ahead. I definitely think starting in your junior year at least will give you a better opportunity to get an internship. And normally most universities, 6 to 10 weeks of like intense classes to make up for having done an internship. It's just going to depend on your university, but I definitely still think it's important to go and look for an internship during your junior year. All right, y'all, so those were all of the questions from my last Ask Stephie video. If you have some questions and you want me to answer it in upcoming Ask Stephies, then leave them in the comments below and I'll be sure to get to them. If you liked this type of video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to be part of our subby fam because we would love to have you. Enjoy your journey, and I'll talk to y'all in my next video.